the day. From Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Trey Lance and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
Lock off of play action. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media, will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
And some room to maneuver. And out across midfield down to the 45. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
Again, it's Lock. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Lock. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Lock now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Lock looks to throw it again. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, usually get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel, but coaches often hedge their bets too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Lance on the bootleg. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jennings. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Here's Lance to throw it. Drops this one down to Sermon. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And now they'll throw with Lance. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. And Lance going to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff. Sermon. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Lance. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They look to throw. It's Locke. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. They'll roll him out right. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Now Lance. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
3rd and long. You knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10.
We see Drew Lock in the offense coming back on.
And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever. Vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Seattle.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Lock going to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Throwing now is Lock. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Niners set to take over on offense. A 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
From the gun, it's Lance. This to the outside, it's Sermon.
Call it a gain of a yard. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line.
He'll dump this off to Sermon, complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. To try again after the sack, Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
And Lance's throw taken in by Samuel.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here. And a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Catch is made by Metcalf. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
They set up the screen for Sermon.
And some room to roam now. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
To throw, it's Lance.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 25-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL. We are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And in the second quarter, it's the football team who are out in front. Terry McLaurin, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we head to Hard Rock Stadium to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And they've got the lead at halftime over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Dolphins looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Josh Jacobs, over 100 on the ground in the victory. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Throwing now is Lance.
Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On the handoff, Sermon, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's got this down to the 35. They talked about at halftime, whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Lance looking to throw it.
And Gresham's got it over the middle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On play action, Lance.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Here's Lance. Checks it down to Sermon out of the backfield.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
He'll buy some time right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. The drive starts with a carry by Sermon.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers.
Trey Sermon, 81 yards. And the 49ers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
They'll look to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They fake the handoff, now Locke.
Flush to his right.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. But that makes this a 2-score ball game. And, the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, that's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Locke going to try and throw for it.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agree. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
And Lance now to throw.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Lance.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10. Incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
And they'll go for it. Lance.
And he will find his man, Samuel. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score.
So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game.
And now it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Locke. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Their pass passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Trey Lance and the 49ers set to go back on offense here.
Well, the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency? Got to walk that line a little bit, but get it downfield in order to score, and then put the pressure on the guy who kicks the ball because he could tie the game.
It's been a fun game. It all comes down to this. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance.
Here's Sermon.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now.
That'll be complete to Sermon. Touchdown! Trey Sermon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Niners are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. We see Drew Lock in the offense coming back on.
And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Now Lock.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. On the move to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Lock. Rolling to his right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Here's Lock.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Boy, Charles, what a critical call in a tie game late.
You want to have the tight coverage. You don't want to cause the penalty. Pass interference in this case, remember, it's a yardage foul in the NFL, a spot foul where it occurs.
Lock to throw.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
And no movement for the field goal unit to break this tie. They're going to go for this thing. 4th and goal. Here we go. Caught on the slant. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And that will force a turnover on downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
Fielded right around the 8. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense.
They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. On play action, Lock. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught inside the 5. A huge play there in overtime.
Well, that certainly changes things here because they're in field goal range already, but a field goal, that's not what they're looking for now, not after that big play right here in overtime.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away.
And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, David.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for the Seahawks,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Niners, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.